Okay, one thing before when we start recording,
Yes, I started.
stop recording. Stop. This is funny. I'm like some Bhuta, Adbhuta, appearing and disappearing on the screen. Transparent, transparent medium. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Pregnancy of Deity in the evening. In the evening, morning, and afternoon. Text number 5. Maitreya Vacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Sadhuvira Tvaya Prishtam.
Sadhuvira Tvaya Prishtam.
Avatara Katham Hare.
Avatara Katham Hare.
Yattvam Prichhasi Martyanam.
Yattvam Prichhasi Martyanam.
Mrityupasha Vishakanim.
Mrityupasha Vishadanim.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Maitreya said, O warrior, the inquiry made by you is just befitting a devotee because it concerns the incarnations of the personality of Godhead. He is the source of liberation from the chain of birth and death for all those who are otherwise destined to die. Purport. The great sage Maitreya addressed Vidura as a warrior, not only because Vidura belonged to the Kuru family, but because he was anxious to hear about the chivalrous activities of the Lord in his incarnation of Varaha and Narasimha. Because the inquiries concerning the Lord, they were perfectly befitting a devotee. A devotee has no taste for hearing anything mundane. There are many topics of mundane warfare, but a devotee is not inclined to hear them. The topics of the warfare in which the Lord engages do not concern the war of death, but the war against the chain of Maya, which obliges one to accept repeated birth and death. In other words, one who takes delight in hearing of the war topics of the Lord is relieved from the chains of birth and death. Foolish people are suspicious of Krishna's taking part in the battle of Kurukshetra, not knowing that his taking part ensured liberation for all who were present on the battlefield. It is said by Bhishma Dev that all who were present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original spiritual existence after death. Therefore, hearing the war topics of the Lord is as good as any other devotional service. Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prasthadutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashakyadi Shukarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Sadguru Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Shri Maitreya Uvacha Sadhuvira Tvaya Prishtam Avatara Katham Hare Yattvam Prichyasi Matyanam Mrityupasha Vishakanim. The great sage Maitreya said, O warrior, the inquiry made by you is just befitting a devotee because it concerns the incarnations of personality of Godhead. It is the source of liberation from the chain of birth and death for all those who are otherwise destined to die. So, we talked about inquiries, inquiring into so many things, but here clear distinction is made that a devotee is concerned only about what? It's concerned only about Krishna. Wants to hear only about Krishna. was not interested in any mundane subjects, mundane topics. Because for a devotee, nothing else can satisfy him. Nothing else can satisfy him. Because he has already tasted the nectar of Krishna's devotional service. So when you compare nectar of devotional service, maybe you may not be even so sincere, but still, once you've exposed to it, once you've tasted it, once the seed is sown, you cannot give it up. You cannot renounce it. You cannot reject it. It's there. And then how can one enjoy material world? It's very difficult. And one understands how great and how wonderful and how satisfying Krishna is. That means Krishna in various forms. Krishna in various forms, as prasadam also. Yes, as prasadam, as spiritual sound vibration, as fragrant flowers or argabhatis offered to Krishna. Any sense that can be aligned with any subtle sense, gross sense, even mind, intellect, ego, nothing can compare. Nothing can compare. And then how can you think about, let's say, the highest so-called pleasure of material world, the grossest, the most disgusting sex life? No? One really has to be so engrossed in Maya. So engrossed in Maya. Of course, even then, let's say if one is trying to taste that vomit, if one is trying to taste that, still, hopefully, one will be reminded of Krishna, how nothing can compare to pleasures of devotional service. And one may keep on trying being in Maya, keep on trying being in Maya, but still, there is some memory. Of course, if one really wants to forget, Krishna will make him forget. If you really want to be a hog, then take a body of a hog. But if one is somewhat still inclined towards, not so envious, of course, that's the point. Not envious, not offensive to the devotees, then one won't be able to relish that illusion of sense gratification. No one will be able to do it. And the one story was one devotee who left the movement, and then he was thinking, he went from Mayapur, he went South India, and then he was renting one room, and he was just contemplating, how am I going to have some sense gratification? And then he was, adjusting the bed, something was going on, this and that, and then he forgot there is a fan, and then he got knocked by the fan. Some reaction, and then he was suffering, and then but then still he was contemplating, how will I enjoy, and then he was trying to enjoy so many ways, being in Maya, and then he came to, I think it was Godavari River, and he was there, trying to enjoy, and then what he saw, one monkey. He saw monkey came. And monkey did what? Monkey offered pranam to the river. At least it looked like it. And then he went and take bath. And he came out. And this struck him. He said, what is going on? Monkey is offering pranam. And then, he got Krishna inspired from it. And he said, this is me. He got enlightened. He said, this is me. I'm behaving like a monkey. Next life, because that means from last life, that monkey, he must have some, some samskara, some sukriti, something. Before entering the river, that's a culture, that's you offer pranam, then you enter the river, So he said, "That's me. That's me. That's I'm doing so much now. Because, there's so many simple things. I'm going to be a monkey." So he got enlightenment. Then he stopped his sense gratificatory business. So anyone who's trying to enjoy sense gratification, you may try hard. How much trouble is it? How much trouble? How much suffering to try to enjoy? When you have ability, it's very difficult to find the object of sense gratification. And even if you find that object may not cooperate in the ways that you want to enjoy. And then later on, even if you find some objects, but then you get old and then you cannot enjoy anymore. So many sufferings, so many sufferings. And people are making so much efforts, investing so much time and energy trying to enjoy. So for a devotee, because he has rasavacham he has a higher taste. And he's not interested in the tastes of, Vidbhujam. That's what Lord Rishabh is telling to his son. Don't be interested in so-called sense gratification of the hogs and dogs. What is that gratification? What is that enjoyment? Human life is meant for tapasya. Human life is meant for doing nirjala ekadashi. That's what human life is meant for. No? So who did it yesterday? Pakka, everybody did. Huh? So, was it difficult? Huh? Did you feel unconscious? Did you, something happen or something? See? Is that difficult? It's only the mind that makes everything difficult. That's all. There's nothing else. See, the day is, and still if you're engaged, you're doing some seva or something, the day will go, it goes just like that. Finish, no? And you broke the fast in the morning. Oh yeah. It's not difficult at all. But we make it, so much issue, all this, that, so much nonsense. The mind, if you listen, yes, that's the problem. If you listen to your mind, if you condition yourself to listen to your mind only, then you will never progress in spiritual life. That's why initiation means from that day onwards, I don't listen to my mind, I listen to my guru. Whatever guru says, then I will do, without questioning it. Whether I like it, I don't like it. Doesn't matter. So if you're not ready for that, then don't take initiation. No? That's the point. But when you take initiation, that means I'm beginning my spiritual life because I listen to my guru. I listen to my crazy mind anymore. And whatever the mind says, he likes it, he doesn't like it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because your mind is not your guru anymore. Because hopefully by that point we have realized how mind puts us in so much trouble. How mind, entangles us with so many of these enjoying, propensities and desires, and it's cheating us, putting us in so much trouble and difficulties. And what is it giving us? Such an abominable life. Is that what we want to settle for? Abominable life of hogs and dogs. So no, we want higher taste. So those who taste the higher taste, they're not interested of the taste of the, animals. So that's why devotees here. They're not interested. They're not interested about mundane topics, mundane subjects. What is the latest Bollywood rubbish going on? They're not interested in it. They don't even know what is going on. Don't read magazines and watch the news and this one, that one, whatever, all this, whatever is going on. Devotee has just no, it's so disgusting to me. Oh, do you know these ladies? What? Doesn't even want to hear anything. So they're discussing topics about Krishna, discussing topics about Krishna. discussing subjects of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's so relishable because Krishna is the prototype of everything. No? You really want a prototype, you want anything the best, but then why not hearing about Krishna? You want the action, you want romance, you want drama, you want action. I mean, again, I said that. You want what else? I mean, what else you want? You want adventure, you want whatever you want. Hear about Krishna. He's the origin of everything. There's no better than that. There's no more satisfying than that. There's no more purifying than that. There's no more enlivening than that. Everything else also is just flickering, temporary, contaminating, and entangling. So that's what we want, not a good idea. That's why devotees stay way, far away from any such kind of mundane discussions, because they fills the mind with so much rubbish. And then of course, once your mind is filled with that, then you have to act upon it. Mind will force you to act upon it. So devotees use a sense of discrimination and higher taste. So that's why Maitreya and Vidura, they're discussing about Krishna. You know, discussing about Krishna. And it says here, he is the source of liberation from chain of birth and death for all those who are otherwise destined to die. So if you don't want to, Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janmam vikasvacha. One who is die is destined to take birth. One who is destined to take birth is destined to die. That means keeps on going on. It's a wheel of samsara chakra, you know? Goes on, goes on. You don't want to take birth again? Well, then you have to hear about Krishna. In this way you will achieve liberation because you're going to Krishna, you're not going anywhere else. Because you'll develop taste and desire to go to Krishna. And you won't have desires, okay, I have to appear again in this horrible material world. Just imagine, I mean, sometimes back we were discussing, I went on purpose, these subjects from the third canto. This is also the third canto, but where is it? Somewhere. Yeah, maybe it's here, somewhere. Anyway, it's about the state of the jiva in the womb of its mother. What a suffering! What a suffering! You're compressed within the small space, you know, like this. Like if I put you in this little box, and you have to be 9 months inside, just like that. How would it be nice? Would you fit inside? Even you wouldn't fit, but you have to be inside. You cannot get out. And so many different kinds of bacteria, bugs or something, I don't know, they're biting you and creating so much uncomfort. And then nowadays modern mothers, they eat chili, this, that, so many oily, so many things, and all this, you know, it's so, your body is so delicate, so sensitive. And you suffer, people, you suffer like anything because of all of this. You know, nowadays mothers also, they smoke, they drink, they, all kinds of horrible things. You know, the children are also, you know, so heavily affected and so many consequences. How much suffering is there in the womb? And then, of course, you become conscious in the 7th month, so that means at least good 2 months, if not more. You're suffering like anything. Suffering like anything. It said the jiva is praying to the Lord, please, I'll be good devotee, I won't do nonsense anymore, get me out of here. Get me out of here, I'll be practicing. And then as soon as you're born, of course, you forget. You forget. And then same business as usual. Maya. So do you want to go through that again? But that's what's going on. So you have to become serious about spiritual life. You have to become serious about hearing about Krishna. Because then you will want to go to Krishna. If you don't want to go to Krishna, then you will not go to Krishna. You will stay here and try to get new, you know, monorail, and try to get new, I don't know, Atal's bridge, and try to get new, what else? New buildings and new this and new that and new, always trying to improve your sense gratification. And while trying to improve your sense gratification, you will get so much, you know, pollution, smoke from this oil refinery or whatever this nonsense there is, you know. And what is that? There's so much smoke coming from there up. Up north, what is that stuff? It's also part of the same thing.
Same thing.
Such a huge, vast area, amazing. So much pollution. This is inconceivable. So much pollution. That's why I said I just read the news that the rate of cancer had tripled in the last few decades. How many people are getting cancer? Tripled. No, but we have our sense. What sense gratification? You're working like a dog to get some money, spending whole day, running for profit. Why you want to come back again? Why appearing again and suffer and struggle? Hopefully somebody will have some intelligence to ask why. Why? Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? And then you get kicked by your wife like she donkey, and so many times, and all these different affairs that go on, so much cheating business, so much disgusting business. Is that what life is meant for? So devotees have no taste for this. No taste because it's so abominable. And they can perceive, they have the vision, they have understanding, they have consciousness how futile and useless and dissatisfying ultimately all of that is. They don't want to waste their time. So they want to hear about Krishna. They want to attain liberation from this chain and burden. What am I doing here? Why I have to be here in this terrible body also, given so much trouble, it requires so much maintenance, requires so much time, so much nonsense for what? Why do I have to be here? Hmm? If I can go anywhere, why do I need a body? If you can go anywhere, why do you need this monorail or something? Why do you need it? Why I can't just go wherever I want to go? In your mind, you can be in a moment somewhere else. But you can't because you're attached to this disgusting, stupid body. In your mind, you can be anywhere. But no, you have to have gross body. So now you go anywhere with your gross body. Good luck. You're so attached to your gross body, okay. And then you buy a ticket. When you buy a ticket, you work very hard. You see how much entanglement, so much nonsense. You're just attached to this gross, horrible material body. No? Even subtle body, even this mind or whatever, even that's not required. Soul is sarvagata, present everywhere. You can go anywhere. But we limit it because we are attached to ignorance. We are limiting it. And we are limiting ourselves. So that's why we don't become attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Hearing about so many different topics and subjects. And as I said here, Krishna is the prototype of everything. So everything that we want, it's there in Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada explains that Vidura is addressed as warrior because not just because we belong to Kuru dynasty, but he was ready to hear about chivalrous activities of the Simha and Varaha. So anybody wants like this little adventure, little action, little some kind of chivalrous mood being explained, some war happening, this and but then here about the Simha and Varaha, how he's fighting the demons. Not hearing about this Russia-Ukraine nonsense stuff going on, wasting time, or in Israel what is going on. These are prominent ones. There's so many. I don't know how many wars are going on throughout the world. Big scale, small scale, temporary scale, whatever scale there is. People have taste because that's also rasa. That's called bhasli rasa. No, that's one of the sub rasas, one of the seven. No, secondary rasas. It's rasa. People like to watch horror movies or something, no? You want horror movie, just go to hell. There's plenty of options. I mean, you don't even have to. There's enough hell on this planet also, anyway. But it's rasa. Some people like it. They like it until it happens to them. They like to see it, how it's happening to others. But when it happens to you, you won't really relish it so nicely and so much again, no? So, but it's rasa, so better to hear about Krishna. Krishna also likes to enjoy the chivalry rasa. That's why the Hiranyakashipu comes, Ravana comes, Jaya and Vijay come down to assist Krishna in fulfillment of that chivalry rasa. No? Krishna wants to fight also. He has that propensity. So why not hear about Krishna? No? Why not hear him? So anything that we want to hear is there. It's there in the Shastras. It's there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should hear about Krishna. But as I said, in that way we become purified. In that way we achieve liberation. In that way we really have a higher taste. You know, there's so many benefits rather than hearing about some mundane, envious. Whatever all the other lusty and greedy and angry, so many bad qualities that are there. That people are engaged in different, conflicts. And then also we assume those qualities. We become contaminated. So why do we want to hear about that? Because everything, any conflict that happens is a conflict for sense gratification. It's a conflict for better bodily comforts. But you see, what an irony that is. You want better bodily comforts, but how much you have to suffer? How much more misery you're inflicting upon yourself for sake of gratifying your senses. You know? What you have to undergo. And of course, you may die, and then you don't get the sense gratification. You were fighting for it, but you don't get it. You're knocked out. You know? So what is the use? How trivial, how useless, how unfulfilling those material desires and hopes are. And even if you attain them, still they don't satisfy. They don't satisfy. So that's why better to hear about Krishna. You know? Better to hear about Krishna. And if you can't fight for Krishna, let's say you really want to fight or something, but you're already declaring, as Srila Prabhupada said, you're already declaring war. Declaring war on what? You're declaring war on Maya. Now you declare the war, now you have to fight. What is Maya? It's dispersing this illusion, just like now the sun has risen, dispersing the darkness. So let's allow Krishna to disperse that darkness from within our heart, within our mind. And be clear in our actions, in our thoughts, in our desires. Be clear what do we want and what is really beneficial. Have that ability of discrimination. So that's a war. That's a war. How to be pure. That's a war. How to be Krishna conscious. That's the fight we have to fight. So that's exciting. That's exciting because it's full with challenges. And it's full with newer and newer tricks that Maya is presenting to us. That Maya is trying to distract us. It's fun. If you want to have fun also like this. But if you want to be in proper consciousness, how to overcome those obstacles, how to not get entangled, how to not fall in trap, how to not be affected by, that's called ambush, being ambushed by Maya. She sets up the perfect trap. You go home, and at home your parents, oh, very nice, you have come. Now you stay here, you cannot go anywhere. And by the way, here is a nice girl, and you're trapped. And then how you will run away? Where will you go? So Maya is making all kinds of arrangements. So you have to be ready to respond properly. You have to be ready. Then that's how you fight with Maya. So if anybody has any chivalry propensity like this, it's already going on. It's already going on. That's why what did Prabhupada say? The Sankirtan warriors, Sankirtan warriors, book distribution. Sorry, last time when you distributed books?
Last Thursday. Last to last Thursday.
Okay, anyway, plan another
Yes, we
big distribution. So that's the war against the Maya. We are fighting with distributing books. That's the war against ignorance. So that's what one has to be engaged with. So that's why even if any, like here, so Prabhupada explains, foolish people are suspicious of Krishna's taking part in battle of Kurukshetra. But even if that kind of course you can't avoid violence. You can't avoid violence. Violence is going on there in your body right now. In this material world, there's always going to be some violence going on. You can't avoid it. People sometimes, oh, why we have to be engaged in the war? Why we have to listen about the war? Some people are like that also. You know, they want to enjoy some peace, some different levels of sattva guna, but you can't have it because somebody else is always going to encroach upon you. Somebody else is always going to disturb you. Somebody always going to affect you in some way or the other. You can't avoid it. Then okay, let's go. No more police. No more army. Then you see what happens. You will be exploited. And you won't like that. So there has to be some violence. You know, if you have a thorn in the body, you have to take another thorn to pull it out. No, otherwise it's not going to work. Otherwise, so there has to be violence. You know, there has to be violence. Violence for sake of peace. So that's why Krishna, he wanted to establish perfect reign, placed Yudhishthira Maharaj on the throne, but there was no other option but the war. But again, what is the difference between the war that Krishna is waging compared to any other? The difference is that everybody, Prabhupada said, even Bhishmadev, he said anyone, Bhishmadev confirmed, anyone who was present on Kurukshetra attained the original spiritual existence after death. That's the benefit. Everybody got liberated. So that's the difference between mundane, you know, war-like activities or whatever else, any other activity, any other subject, and the subject that is concerned with Krishna, hearing about Krishna. So Prabhupada concludes, he says, therefore, hearing the war topics of the Lord, you know, is as good as any other devotional service. So it doesn't matter, whatever it's in connection to Krishna is as good as anything else. That's bhakti. You know, if it's for pleasure of Krishna, if it's appreciating Krishna, if it's making us remember Krishna, it doesn't matter. So whether you like little action or you don't like any action, doesn't matter. Krishna should be in the center. So there's plenty of everything for everyone. Any option, anything. Krishna is so merciful, and to attract every living being, he presents himself or acts in so many various ways. So that's what we have to take advantage, and that's why we're very fortunate we have this Srimad Bhagavatam to hear about various kinds of topics, in Krishna's activities, and therefore we can become attracted to him and have that higher taste, so that we don't become attracted to this illusion that is going on, illusion that it's apparently distracting our senses, but it's offering nothing, or just on the contrary, it's offering such a hellish experience. So many reactions and so many side benefits, effects, that one has to suffer. So that's Maya. So that's something that no intelligent person will ever indulge himself. Okay, we have to stop. Any questions? Yes.
When you said about book distribution, but when we go on book distribution, there are some people who come to us and ask for such book. Do you have constitution? Why this? Why that? And start fighting. We doing our business, and they come and if we just show them, this is Bhagavad Gita, read this.
We tell them this is the original constitution,
We said no.
which doesn't require any amendment. It's perfect from the beginning till the end. Applies to every person at any time. It's just perfect constitution. You read this, then you'll understand what the constitution is. So that's why asking such a nonsense things. And then after all, they don't like it, just walk away. Walk away and go somewhere else until they move, and then you can come back to the same place. Ignore them. Don't get involved with them. They'll just suck your energy, contaminate your mind, disturb you. Unnecessary. Don't waste time with such rakshasas. Stay away from them. They're always there to disturb your service. So don't allow them to disturb your service. You can try. You can give a simple response. If they again negatively react to it, then you just Hare Krishna, sir, I have some business to do. You don't like it? Terrible. You just walk away.
This Thursday
Huh?
happened few. This Thursday will happen few times.
Yeah, so just walk away. Walk away.
So,
Don't waste time. There's no point arguing. There's no point. They don't want to hear. They just want to disturb it. They just want to have fun disturbing you. They're such rascals. They're such rascals. So don't waste time. It's better not to waste time. That's why I said you kill a skunk. There's a saying, you kill a skunk and your hands will stink. So don't waste time. They just go somewhere else. Yeah.
so my question was regarding distribution of the. We go and distribute books. So sometimes books get distributed well, but sometimes it's good. So there is pressure also. Say now it does not be distributed. Score is very less. So how to detach ourselves from score?
No, you should not detach yourself from the score. You should detach yourself from being attached to Maya. Yeah, when you're attached to Maya, then that's why books don't go. That means we didn't chant properly in the morning. We didn't think about Krishna properly.
Yeah.
We should have proper consciousness. When we have proper consciousness, then we are more transparent medium, and then Krishna will just send people. And when we take shelter of Krishna and pray, Krishna, please let me just be an instrument. Not that when I think I'm the doer, I'm distributing books. Just an instrument. So we should pray to Krishna, please empower us, engage us properly.
I did not just good. Means good sadhana equals to good.
Yes, that's the key. That's the essence. Good sadhana. And proper consciousness. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Not for my good result or something. I'm doing it for pleasing Krishna and trying to give chance to these living beings who are such mind. Okay. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai,
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Okay, please clean the floor. So many hairs. So many hairs. Look at this big one. Here, here.